Earl Simmons, known by his stage name DMX, Darkman X, was an American rapper, songwriter, and actor. He began rapping in the early 1990s and released his debut album It's Dark and Hell Is Hot in 1998, to both critical acclaim and commercial success, selling 251,000 copies within its first week of release. DMX released his best-selling album, And Then There Was X, in 1999, which included the hit single, Party Up, Up in Here. His 2003 singles, Where the Hood At, and X Gon Give It to Ya, were also commercially successful. He was the first artist to debut an album at number 1 5 times in a row on the Billboard 200 charts. 5. Overall, DMX has sold over 74 million records worldwide. DMX was featured in films such as Belly, Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds, Cradle to the Grave, and Last Hour. In 2006, he starred in the reality television series DMX, Soul of a Man, which was primarily aired on the BET cable television network. In 2003, he published a book of his memoirs entitled, Earl Simmons Was Born on December 18, 1970, with various accounts giving his birthplace as either Baltimore, Maryland or Mount Vernon, New York. 8. He was the son of 19-year-old Arnett Simmons and 18-year-old Joe Barker. Earl was Simmons' second child. She had given birth to a daughter, Bonita, 2 years prior, and later gave birth to one daughter, Shayla, and 2 stillborn sons. 1. His father, Barker, was an artist who painted watercolor paintings of street scenes to sell at local fairs. Barker moved to Philadelphia and was largely absent from his life. As a child, Simmons suffered greatly from bronchial asthma, being taken to the emergency room almost nightly due to him waking up unable to breathe. 10. He was raised as a Jehovah's Witness but became disillusioned with the faith after an incident where he was hit by a drunk driver while crossing the street. A month later, an insurance representative went to his house to try and reach an agreement to prevent his family from suing. Simmons claims he was told that his family could have been awarded a settlement of $10,000 and possibly even more for the injuries he sustained, but that his mother rejected the settlement as she claimed that Jehovah's Witnesses are taught to be self-sufficient, although the group's official doctrine at the time did not prohibit suing or receiving settlements. Simmons went through a disjointed childhood that included being beaten by his mother and her various boyfriends so badly that he lost teeth and sustained numerous bruises and cuts on his face. Due to poverty, he slept on the floor with roaches and mice crawling over him in the night. When Simmons was 5 years old, his family settled into the School Street projects in Yonkers, New York. When he was 6 years old, his mother knocked out 2 of his teeth with a broom after he innocently erased something in her notebook. At school, he threw chairs at teachers and stabbed another child in the face with a pencil. When he was 7, an aunt got him drunk on vodka. The same year, he was jailed for stealing cakes from a market. One summer, his mother locked him in his bedroom, allowing him to only exit for trips to the bathroom. At the end of the 5th grade, at age 10, Simmons was expelled from school and sent to the Julia Deichmann Andrus Children's Home for 18 months. In what he described as a defining moment of betrayal, his mother tricked him by telling him they were just visiting the home, then she enrolled him there. A few months later, he was arrested for arson in an attempt to burn the school down. He nearly killed his co-conspirator. When he was 14, Simmons began living on the streets of Yonkers to escape his mother's abuse, sleeping in Salvation Army clothing bins and befriending stray dogs. Shortly after he began doing this, his mother once again sent him to a group home. During his stay, Simmons bonded with other students from New York over their shared love of hip-hop music. After performing for his friends, they encouraged Simmons to continue writing music at the behest of his teacher. When he returned home, Simmons met Reddy Ron, a local rapper, who was impressed with Simmons' beatboxing skills and asked him to become his partner. Simmons chose the name, DMX, which came from an instrument he had used at the boys' home, the Oberheim DMX drum machine. It later was also interpreted as Darkman X. When he was 14, Simmons began living on the streets of Yonkers to escape his mother's abuse, sleeping in Salvation Army clothing bins and befriending stray dogs. Shortly after he began doing this, his mother once again sent him to a group home. During his stay, Simmons bonded with other students from New York over their shared love of hip-hop music. After performing for his friends, they encouraged Simmons to continue writing music at the behest of his teacher. When he returned home, Simmons met Reddy Ron, a local rapper, who was impressed with Simmons' beatboxing skills and asked him to become his partner. Simmons chose the name DMX, which came from an instrument he had used at the boys' home, the Oberheim DMX drum machine. It later was also interpreted as Darkman X. As a freshman at Yonkers Middle High School, DMX was the second fastest on the track and field varsity team. However, he had bad grades and a sparse attendance record. He turned to robbery as a way to get out of poverty. His first was a purse snatch theft in Yonkers that netted him $1,000, which he used to buy a new leather dog collar and dog harness for his dog, and a pair of Timberland boots for himself. By the end of the year, he attended school just to rob people and was robbing 3 people per day. He then turned to